We are continuing our Shiur on Otzrot Chaim. We are in the middle of Shaar Partzufei Zoom pereck base, and I think we've decided to start at the beginning of the pereck because I just to jump in the middle is a little bit more complicated. Anyways, we didn't make too much of a haschala, so we're going to start from the beginning of the pereck base, Shaar Partzufei Zoom, which is on Daf Reish Samach Zayin. And in the old edition, original edition, is Daf Mem Gimel Amud Aleph. So we'll just read it over again. Ve'at nevaya oven is labeshusam toch za. Shehine bios nai de abba toch nai de ima. Is labeshu kulam yacha toch za. V'neva inan his pashtus nai de ima. Omevere yizbaer. Gam ken expashtus naida. But he's marked into as no the halbosh that we spoke last week is one and the other. Abba goes into Ima, and through that it feeds into Za. So when we speak about Ima, automatically on the back of our minds we have to know that we're talking about the Naida Abba as well. We know that Netzach split into three parts. We're talking about the Netzach of Ima split into three parts. Peretz Elyon, Peretz Insoy, Peretz Tachta. That means the chokhmah of, as the three chalakim of Ima go into the chokhmah, or let's say the kav, it's called the chokhmah, it's really the kav, yamin of Zah, which includes chokhmah, chesed, and netzah, which is called chachan. So the gimel chalakim of netzah will go into the gimel chalakim of Zah, on the right hand side. Mitchalik l'shlosha chalakim ve'elu mispashtim b'kav yamin dezah, and that's all going to go in kav yamin dezah. Pereck rishon the netzach the ima b'toich shlish ma chokhma nitlavish b'keli chokhma dezah. The pereck sheni the ima b'toich shlish sheni the chokhma nitlavish b'keli chesed dezah.
So this pesach,
right? Ima is going inside the shefa.
Is it mechuba?
What's mechuba?
When it's going, when it goes into
it becomes bosa b'soma and etzim and soma. It becomes a chelik of Zah.
Yeah, they come. It's in his chabbos. When pesach means his chabbos.
In Davish v'dechem, ader zeh pereck shlishi the netzah the ima shebetoch shlishi the chokhma nislavish bekeli netzah dezah. I didn't really explain it completely, though. You have to understand that in the netzach hod yisod of ima has inside of it the chabad. So we're talking about the netzach of ima, and inside netzach of ima has the chokhmah. So in the same way, the keli of ima, the netzach, for example, is split into three. The chokhmah, which is inside the netzach, will split into three, and that's going to go into the chacham, the three chalakim of Zah. The Hodeima Shebetochim Shlosha Shlishim, the Mokbina, also on the left hand side. Hoid of Ima has inside of the Moichim of Bina, which are allocated to go, are planning to go into all that, the Moichim and the Levushim, are planning to go inside the Kav small dezah, Shu Bina Gvua Hod dezah. There's in Tlavish Netzach Hod Yisod, Hod, there's in Tlavish Netzach Hod de Abba, also is going to be also inside of Ima, the exact same thing. Small the netzah, the Ima, the second pereck, or pereck sheni the hod the Ima. Hine hem mispashtim betoch over zroa yamim small dezah, v'nimshach ad tziyum tziponov, ve'umitoch tzipon etzbot boka or hu. So once again, maybe it must be that so close. So when we're talking about the pereck elyon of Ima, in the pereck elyon of Ima, you have shefa called chokhmah, bina, and das. Think about it as like that. We have the shefa inside the naida Ima, and the shefa is mechulik into three chalakim, and the naida Ima is mechulik into three chalakim. So he's talking about the shura elyona. The shura elyona is called the pereck elyon. So let's talk about the right hand side. The right hand side, we're talking about the netzach. Pereck Elyon of Netzach. In the Pereck Elyon of Netzach, already you have called the Moichim, which is the Pereck Elyon of Chokhmah. Both that, the Moichim and the Pereck Elyon, are going to go into the Chokhmah of Zah. Okay? And then, next thing we'll be talking about is the Pereck Insoy, of Netzach. Inside of that, you have the pereck and Tzar Chochma, which is inside of that. That's going to go into Chesed. And pereck Tachton of Netzach, which has the Chochma and Shlish, the pereck Shlishi of Chochma inside of that is going to go into the Netzach. Okay, and then you can figure out the left-hand side and the middle side. And then Abba is also going to be the same process, which is inside of that. Now, this is the Indian where we stopped at, is the Indian of the Pekiyas all, from the Tziponaim of the Yadayim, of both the Chesed and then the Chesed and the Gevur, which represents the Yadayim, from the ends of the hands, we can have the Pekiyas of the all coming out of that.
These Tziponaim are something different to the fingers themselves.
What do you mean? Yadayim are fingers. Part of the hand is the fingers.
No, but the fingers, it's an eye of the nails.
The nails, right. That's where the oil actually comes out from. But still...
But it means the fingers, or it means the nails?
What do you ask? What means?
When it says the silver spoon out spurs, yeah, that means it because
the light comes out from the nails. From between the nails and the bottom. That's where the light comes out from. I'll read it again. Oh no, that. Shebepereck Sheni, the Netzel the Ima, or bepereck Sheni, the whole the Ima, right, pereck Emse. Hinehem ispashtim b'kol orer zroa yamin v'smol dezam. V'nimshach ad tziyum tziponaim. So all that pereck go all the way down to the fingernails. And we talk tzipone etzboot bokeya o hahu. New sugya. And now we're talking about we're not talking about slapshus now. That was the first thing we spoke about. Now we're talking about as the all is being mispashed, it's coming from ima, and inside ima you have the moichim inside of that. It's coming into zah. It's being mispashed down to its cholokim and tsoim, which is netzach and hod. At the end of that, it's going to all come out. Not all come out. Sorry. So a little bit of it's going to come out.
So in the same way that a nail is different to a finger, is the Tziponaim different to a finger?
We'll be nice. Just about. We told Tziponai Aitzbot Boka Oahu, Pereck Shlishi, the Netzach Hod the Ima, excuse me, the Choze Nichnas Vidlabish Tov Rosh Yerech Hayimoni Vismoli Deza Ben Pereck LePereck. So what's going to happen is that the all is going to come out of the Tziponaim. They're going to go into the legs, into the Yerech, which represents, right, the Netzach and Hod of Zah. Shesham hu mokum chalal v'yochel o likanes de'asham. Shekamo shizba likaman. That's in Shaar Yaakov. Okay, right, very good. Mispashet bekula ad siyum areglayim. It's going to go all the way down. Okay, so that's what's happening at this particular point, because there's a hefsek, right? Usually, like for example, the Kav Yamin is a complete hemshech, right? From the Kesed to the Das to the Tiferet to the Yesod, there's no hefsek between. Over here, you have the Chochma, you have the Chesed, and then you have a break from Chesed to Netzach. You have a break. That's we have to be involved. We have to be involved how this happens. Now, v'ki'ilu timshol der Moshe. Der Moshe. Sheyadei zah pshutot o mishtalshelos lemata v'tluyes al haguf. They're hanging. Imagine zah, right? He's hanging. His hands are hanging. V'tzipon etzbot magiyem ad rosh yerochosav. And they end up right by his thighs. V'yotza ol pnimi merosh etzboisav v'nichnas berosh yerosav. Adel zehu b'netza hod ha'ab. Okay, do you see what's happening? So it's going from his hands into his thigh. Into his thigh. The Rashash asks a very simple question. He says this is not like our particular situation over here, because our hands don't really go to the top of our thighs. Ours actually, if you stand up, you think your hands go actually to the middle of your thigh. It doesn't really stem with the Metzias over there. So you have to say that the hands of Zah are sort of shorter, right, than ours. That's what you have to say. He gives a different teras. I didn't understand his teras. It's machal between the three pokim, Shok and Yerech, and the reglaim. So the two more in this Indian, so mamish, this Indian of that has to be done to our world. They take it very sincerely. Okay, weiter. Now, אומנם, אין בחינת נצר הוד דאבא ואמא נכנסים מספשים כלל תוך גוף דזה, שהם מתפארת שבו. So we have to understand that Netzer and Hod don't bechlal go b'derech Tiferes, right? Because Tiferes is the middle cav, and Netzer and Hod are the two extreme calves. So we can't mahafich the yotzes here. Cav even small, stay cav even small, and vice versa. The cav emsoy stays the cav emsoy. Shehine Netzer di'ima en mispashid rak b'kav yamin b'vad. Shem chacham. Chochma, Chesed, Netzer Dezav. Hod Ima, Ein Mispashel Rag Bekav Smolo. Shem Binik Vo Hod, which is Baga Dezav. Ava Tifel Zah Hu Kav Emsoy. Ve'en Nichnosim Bo Netzer Hod De'aba Ve'ima, Shebetocham Shnei Mochim, and Nikram Chochma Bina De'aba Ve'ima, Rak Shnei Kavim Levad Yimin Smoli. V'zehu B'chinas HaKesher Sheyesh LaChochma Iva Chesed, Chesed Netzer, והקשר יש לבינה עם גבוהות, ואבן זה ואל תטועה. Right? Don't make a mistake. Now, why should you come to make a mistake? Because the whole mitzvah is nishtazah. Whole we see that where the yadayim, where did the yadayim come out b'chlal? They came out from the tiferes, right?
Yeah, but
What's the answer to that? Nachama, if you're calling it, he's saying, don't make a mistake, don't think it comes out Tiferes, but it does. Right? What we should actually see is your right brain leading into your right arm, and your right arm leading into your right leg. That would be the chachan, and so forth on the left-hand side. Kav small is the only that really stems. You see the kesen, the das, and the tiferet with your chest and your sword is all one thing. But it seems to be that your kav yamin, which is your right brain, and your kav small, which is your bina, is leading directly into the tiferes, and not into the chesed and gevura. So we have to say that we don't understand the mitzias in b'diyuk, because we don't see exactly the kavim, the ruchnis, the kavim that are shtimi, because really it leads into the goan. And from the Golan it leads into Yadayim. So the Sheva must be going as though, not like as we see the four, a cube of 9, right? So Kav Yamin, Kav Small, Kav Emsa, one leading is, but it's rather, it's more of a Shefa which is leading the outside of the Partzufei.
But it might say even physically it works like this, not in terms of bosso, but in terms of when I move my fingers, because they are connected to my brain, not because they're connected to my tats.
Yeah, but that's not a raya that it doesn't come through the. You understand? The nervous system, which is moving your fingers, it's not a raya that it doesn't come through the tiferes.
No,
so you have to check. Maybe the nerves come through your goof and then come out of your hand.
Yeah, but I can't stop with my chest.
Say that, but we're talking about the shefa. This shefa going directly from chokhmah into the thing which is the pashtus, has to go directly. It's chokhmah chesed.
Yeah, that's really this. Yeah.
But because all your veins, your nervous system are all coming down your goof and then into your arms.
That's at the cardiovascular system, not at the cardiovascular system.
No, there's two things. Either the blood is flowing, and also there's a nervous system.
The nervous system is from the brain straight away to the thinking.
No,
sure.
They have to go via the thing. What do you think? How can you get a cab from here into there without going through the goof? It has to go through the neck.
Yeah, but this part of the goof is not that.
It is. That's Tiferet, of course. What is it? No man's land.
Yeah,
So that's the nekuda here. We have to shtel on that. Yeah. Though you understand what's going on? Okay. Well, b'zeh yituratz lecha kushias sfeikas rabis. What are we up to now? Now, so we're just discussing exactly the mitzvah. He says al titoe, don't make a mistake. We're explaining what's the happening of making a mistake. Adrab, we're making too much of a mistake to trying to shtim the mitzias with the Partzufim doesn't shtim so one understands. Okay, this would answer to you all the many questions that we have. Asher mechlolam hu lios ech netzer hod shitachat tiferes He's asking it the other way around, right? So that we see the Netzach and Hod, where did they come out from? They come out, right? We're asking on the top of the group, we found the Chochmah and the Bina coming via Tiferes and then into the Netz. He says Al Titoy. But the other way around is also Al Titoy. Because where is your Netzach and Hod coming from? Kav Yamin, Kav Small? No. You see that your right and left leg are coming from your Tiferet, not from your hands. Right, David? Your hands should theoretically, your chesed should give shefa directly into your netzach. That means there should be a connection straight from your arm into your right leg. But it's not happening. It's happening that it's going via the tiferet, but that's kav yamin. You're mehafach the yotzes here. Don't mehafach the yotzes. The yotzes means kav yamin, kav small, kav enter. You can't mish them around. You can't put them together. So that with this he's saying that with this we can talis. Lios ech netzach hod shitachat tiferet ve'ein lahem hiskashros klal le'im azrot ki nevucho sharot ki misiyum aguf nitlin v'yotzim bimken eyach nechoshvim likav yamim v'smol im hachesed v'gvura. How do you connect your right arm and left arm to right leg and right and left leg? Harishnehem the netzach and hod yotzim v'kav emsoy. That's emes. Ach im aniska yuva. Because we're talking about the shefa, right, which is coming out from the yadayim, which are curving into the legs. That's good enough to make this kasha between the chachan and the baga. Kav yamin, kav small. וגם יתור אצלך מה נעשה מהאור היוצא מסיום הזרוע דר ציפורנאי האצבעות להיכן ההוג למשפט. Mispashit, right? Because if we're saying the shefa, there must be shefa from this area, you die, but where are they going to go to? Can't be levatola. But we can't say they're just self-contained and not coming out. It must be. The whole goof is porous. You find all coming out from everywhere. It must be coming out, but it can't be levatola. So what's the tachlis of this all coming out? They must be going into the netzach and hod, to meir into them. Maybe it's going derech aguf, maybe not into the dafke, into the netzach and hod, but rather into the tiferet. Because then you're mahaf the yotzes. You're saying kav yamin really leads into kav small, and in the kav imsoy that we're not mahaf the yotzes. Shem came butla bechinas kavim yamin small them. So therefore we have no more kavim camping. But we know that Zohar tells us that there's a complete kav. There's a kav which is nifrod. All the kavim are nifrodim zu. V'omnam tzorich leida ez siba hayekach. Now why is it as that? Shari anu roim shekavim tzoi nimshach v'yoshev bli hefsek. We know that the kav and tzoi is yotze bli hefsek. It goes without hefsek, it goes straight down. V'shnei kavim yamim is small. Yesh b'hem hefsek. Ben chesed and netzar ben gvur lehod. Shari azorot hem pirud meshukayim ve'enu kavim muchuvom yachad. So he's asking the following question. Why is it that the Eibishter built it like this? That you should have the kav and tzoi goes straight down from the keser all the way down to yesod. There's no breakage in the kavim. Masha Einken, when it comes to kav yamin and kav small, we find that there's a breakage there. It goes chokhmah leading straight into the chesed, and then there's a break. There's a break between the chesed and the netzah, and so huadin on the left hand side. Why is it like that? Manishtane kav and tzoi to the kav chitzonim. Lahashiv lo, no, yeah, it's close. Lahashiv zo, tzarich leida mo tziponai odem. What is the inyan of, on page Reish Ein Gimel, what is the inyan of the nails of an Odom? Tziponai Odom. V'gam inyan klipos achitzoinim sheyinaketom me'atziponayim. What is the inyan of the klipos that we know, meaning we know from the Zohar, right? There's the inyan of the klipos, which is yearning from the tziponayim. Lekach tzarich lekotzitzom litor yado. There's a halacha. Someone who cuts their nails has to wash their hands. And also there's another halacha that we know this mefurish, that the b'shar yisad litor yadav mipnei ruach ra sheshor al yadayim. So what's this inyan of ruach ra sheshor al yadayim? Ve'efo mistalekes ad Ve'einu mistalek is actually yitol yodav b'mayim k'mo she'mol v'chazal. So we know that the halacha is that only mistalik when there is an inyan of nitis yadayim. Okay. It's clear all the kashas? Right. Okay. So let me ask you a few more kashas over here. There's a halacha that the koitzin, somebody who is koitzin his nails, he has to wash his hands. Now, as we said, there's an inyan of the chitzonim which are yonik from the tziponayim. Yonik from the tziponayim. So, fragt Bati Ligani that if you koitzis yadayim, why do you have to wash them? Why do you have to wash them? A koitzitzim, litol yadayim, you have to wash your hands. But once you cut them and they go off, well, that's it. They're mistalik. Also, he asked the kasha about in the morning. What?
Is it?
He says there's a unique.
Another question. Is asking on him or just adding questions?
He's asking a question on the halacha. On this din, there's a din a koitzitzim, litol yadayim. Somebody cuts the nails. Why? Because he said because there's a yinikosa me'atziponayim. Right? There's chitzonim there, so you cut them. Right?
So you got connected with the klipas keilu in order to.
Once you cut them off, they go off. Right? You don't have to continue cutting. Once you cut them, they're gone off. And when you sleep in night, we know, David, when you sleep at night, there's a ruach ra, because you are sleeping, not when you're awake. Right? Yeah. So when you wake up, what happens to that ruach? Does it stay there or does it go away?
It doesn't go away as long as you don't wash your hands.
Well, that's the kasha here, because it only comes because you're not there. It can't come there while you're awake, because your neshama is too strong for it. So it repels all these chitzonim. The chitzonim only come when the neshama is not there, and it's yearning from there. So once you wake up, l'chol, it's mistalik. It's mistalik.
Yeah, but they're sleeping, so they don't know that you woke up, and therefore you have to. No,
the kasha. What do you mean they sleep? They don't sleep.
Because it will never come to you when you're awake, but once they come to you while you were sleeping, so they're staying there.
That doesn't make too much sense, because again, the pachad, the chitzonim also have pachad. We see this lashon all the time from the Arizal when he says from Ima and Abba, for example, they have pachad. Kedusha, which is too strong, they don't come close to. They're repelled by it. They can't come. It's an automatic thing. So even Zah, they don't come close to, unless he's sleeping, right? As well, we don't have to wash our hands 24 hours a day, right? What that means, the pshat is because the kedusha is so strong by us, on that level, then the chitzonim can't get to it. So if you're sleeping, then it has a chance to chaporayin. But as soon as you wake up, they leave. They actually leave. So the kasha, the same question would be then, if they've left, then they must be leaving. That's the rule. That's the din. So why do you have to wash your hands? Why do you have to wash your hands? Do you have the kasha? I think it's a starky kasha. There's another kasha as well. So those two kashas. So I saw a teretz, interesting teretz. So he says like this, that maybe on the lines you were trying to say over here. So when a person sleeps and a person's cutting his fingernails, he's megarer the yetzer hara. He's megarer the chitzonim. So they don't come there because they're pachad of the shefa. But once they're there, and you start a fight with them, you're trying to misalik them by either waking up or cutting, that adarab that's magbia the koach, and they don't want to grab, they don't want to let go, and that's why you have to wash hands. That's why you wash hands. That's what he wants to say. The commentators in the discussion, but it's in Santa Ha'avam. Gam lehevin says Arizal inyan hanetzer hot shu sod birkei derabanan deshalhe diminayhu have. Along with that, the knees of the rabbanan of the Talmid Chacham they weaken by the kali which is there. Shesham mit achazim. They're there, they grab onto it. Besod sheker ein lo raglayim, which is the chitzonim. Besod kol hayom dave shu hod hifluch atvam. Why is he picking on hod? Because that's the ikar. Ikar achiz is by the horse on the left hand side. Netzach hold hem sold al v'nachal sitimi, because it's a closed entity. Ve'en pesach suah kama yisol. Ve'im kein mehecham yonkim achitzonim. So he's asking another kasha. If everything's closed, guf sotum, guf otum, and therefore where's the Arizal over there? Okay, so he's asking kama kushas over the Arizal, and he's going to mavad the inyan now. About inyan, this is where we more or less stopped, and this is where he's mavad the inyan. About the inyan who zeh dash klipas mamokum yiknosom, who besof ha'etzbot mokom hatziponayim. Mokom hatziponayim. Agav, it seems to be mashma over here that here's beforehand that the Yenika is by the Tziponayim. Yenikosam mea Tziponayim. I want to medai from that. Like, Shemisham or pnimi boker yotzi mene Tziponayim, ben hayadayim or ben haraglayim, ben deraglayim, שהידיים בוקע האור ויוצא להיכנס ברשת ירחים כנזכה לאל, ואז יונקים משם ממנו בעודם מגולים משם. So here's mashma that Yenika comes dafka as the coming out, the yonik not from the yadayim, nothing to do with the tziponayim b'chlal. Seems to be mashma the yonik from the or, not the tziponayim. A shtikla stira over here. וזה סוד מה שאומר חז"ל שידיים מסכון. יש another halacha. שנייה לטומאה צריכים נטילה אפילו לחולים, קודם אכילה. קודם אכילה. And that's another halacha you have to wash before אכילה. וגם בקום אדם מתוסף בלילה, כמו רוח רע שור עליהם, צריכים נטילת ידיים בשחר, שלא אוהל בחיצונים יכנסם הוא מקבוצס המסוימם, שאין להם רשות לעלות למוקם הקדושה, אבל יונקים ממוקם סיומם, והוא בקצובס ההם, דזרות, ירחיים, rechim, sham achizas yinikasam. So there's a halacha that they can only absorb from the lowest part of the kedusha of the which is coming out, which is at the lowest part of the netzach of the chesed and gvura, and that is the inyan now. The shaila is really why do you have to wash dafka in these particular times? By kodem achila and so on. So api pshat, we know the pshat is doing it. Stam for a heck for the kohanim. When the base mikdash it comes back, then we were actually only doing this for the kohanim, washing for the shas achila. But api soid, what is the inyan that we're not washing all the time, constantly? If the chef is coming out, then that's where the mokum yanika is. The chef is constantly coming out. So we should be actually keeping our hands in water, the entire time, because we don't want the yanika going to them. Now, what's the vote exactly? David, what is the vote over here? We don't want to be magbir the koach. We don't want to give them more. Yosef kedei chiyusam. That's the Indian over here, right? That's why we wash our hands. We want to salik them, and we want to give them more than kedei chiyusam. We give them kedei chiyusam. Remember this. There has to be there. We have to give them some chiyus, but not more than that. So the shaila is, we should be washing all the time, because we don't want to give them too much. I'm just pointing out some of the difficulties in this inyan. Exactly where is the yanika? First of all, eshtalit. Second of all, what are the yonik? And what's the purpose here? Okay, so let's continue. We're trying to revive the inyan. Now, hine anu roim b'chush harois she'abasa shebesov etzbos nivka. ומתוך היוצא וגודל לציפורם ויוצא לחוץ ודרך עושה הבקיע יוצא מהאור זה כניסקה יונקים משם החיצוני לפעמים sometimes more than they should be כשיש חס ושלום איזה פגם בישראל ולא תמיד. So there's two dimming. The emphasis is the yonik there all the time. The shefa is always coming out of there, but sometimes the yonik more than they're supposed to. And that's when chas v'shalom is a pagam klali. So when there's an oven, then they start being yonik more than do. When do they do? Where the bossa stops and there's a bekia over there, and then there's a covering of the nail. That's where the yitzias all come. Aber tziponayim atzmam einam bechinas kali mamish chas v'shalom. So here he's trying to mevai. Now we're getting more together. What are these? What is the Mativam are the tziponayim? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they kali mamish? Are they kedusha? What are they? Are they emsa? Are they something between it? So he says over here that one thing you have to know, that they're not Kali Mamish. And he says it also in Shaar Domas, that they're not Kali Mamish. Vaisrois is a shtikler Kali. It's a shtikler Kali. So one thing we are mevayer over here, that they're not Kedusha. The boss of Adam is Kodesh, right? We have the all Penimi, we have the Neshama. That makes, that the Penimi makes the Chitzin Kodesh. We can't say that about the Tziponaim. Tziponaim seems to be as a shtikler Klipa. וכמו שקוראים בספר הזוהר, פרשת ויקל, דף ר"ח, עמוד ב', דלבושים קדמיים, התלבשו בו אדם בגן עדן, והאינון מלבושים, מאינון רתיחים דאיקרון אחוריים. So, ואינון לבושים דאיקרון לבושי תורפה. ולא ישתור בי אלא הניהו ראשי תורפם באצבון. So what do we see from there? We see from the Zohar that Adam Rishon used to be completely covered over by this levush called the Taufan. And after the chet of Adam Rishon, what happened was that the Eibishter was misalik that heilige levush that he was no longer zoichet to have, and only left it by his tolfan, by his fingernails. And that levush was a protection against the chitzonim, Okay, a new bechina that we haven't learned so far, that the tzipor naim are a shmira for the all. And that's what we said. Mimele, we hear from, what do we see? What's his raya? His raya for what? The raya that they're not kali mamish. They're not kali mamish. But rather they are shmira to the kali. Or pirshini, ki im tziponaim hayu chaz v'sholom tuma v'klipa. It's proving ma haya mo'il netila. Hari lo olam hi tuma dvuka ba'odam. What's the point of washing your hands if it's taki kali? It's mochel that it's not kali mamish. Omnam mitzvah hai bechinas levush toho v'zach. Eloshu kashe b'tiva. B'kashe b'tiva. What is it? What's the din by? What's the tesefes v'kashe b'tiva? So that is because there is in Shaar Kavonas, he speaks about the inyan of Bore More Esh in the Havdalah. We'll speak about it later on as well. Yeah, that we have to be mavdim and kodesh l'chol. But the chol comes Motzei Shabbat. These gabels of the chitzonim happen, and therefore you need a levush kasher to protect the shefa from these gabels of the klippas on that particular time. That's the rebusa here. Shu kasher b'tiva. They have to be strong in order to keep the chitzonim away. וזאת מה שאמר שאומרו בפרשת תחומה דף קמ"א עמוד א' ובשעת דחרב במקדוש לא יתחרב אלא עד אחיד בכל סיטרואים. Right? So what we find that what is he bringing? He's bringing a raya of this levush, because we know in the base of Migdash, this states in the Zohar already. Zohar states interessante Zach that the because of the chet of Klal Yisrael, they had to go down to Bovel. The base of Migdash was they got some matzav, and what happened was the klippas was megaber, and there is a mokum. There is a mokum where all the tefillas of Klal Yisrael, which is above the base of Migdash, where the Migdash is, the klippas covered over that mokum in order to not enable Klal Yisrael for the tefillas to go up. Then when Klal Yisrael went into Golus, that the klippas removed that seal from that mokum. The Eibishter came back, and then he pulled sealed dak, a kisoy dak on that mokum, on that Pesach, in order to be shomer that the klippas should not then get to that mokum. That's very, very important mokum, obviously. A very, very important mokum. And that's the rai for what we're speaking about here, that this kisoy, that the tziponaim are playing the role of a kisoy on top of the bosa to cover over the shefa. But often, he goes weiter, but often שתציפורניים הם הלבוש הקשה, הניתם שם בראש האצבעות ובקוצוסם כדי שלא ינוקו מהם החיצוניים ונקראים קליפה תקיפה. So therefore, it's a hard thing, and therefore you have to cut them. So again, we have this paradox over here. So in one thing, he's telling us is Davar Kodesh, and the whole purpose of it is to be shomer from the klippas. Mitzad Acher, you have to cut it. Well, what are you cutting it for? If it's so Kodesh, and the ganze mahus of the tziponaim is all for the shmira, why are you cutting it? We'll speak about that soon. Ki hiyoy sham klipa hakedusha. Look at it, it's called a klipa kedusha now.
יש שם הקליפה, כלומר, הקדושה שם, ספורנאים שהם קשים מאוד, אי אפשר לחיצון ימינו.
כי בהיוי שם קליפה,
לא קדושה?
yeah, it's called, in Shaar it's called dinim de kedusha. Dinim de kedusha, it's like a kodesh. It's kodesh. This is the kiss, the kisei adak that were coming over in order to be shown from the kedusha. Yeah.
It's not talking about the clippers, it's talking about the spornאים being a clipper on the goof.
Yeah.
Not the clipper, the kali.
Yeah, verstehe, but there's no mistaking that klipa is a negative terminology, right? Klipa means something bad. Klipa is a davar chutzne. It's not davar kodesh, right? Anything which is not part of the kedusha, it's chutz the kedusha. It's negative. It's a bad thing. It's calling it a klipa de kedusha, klipa ha kedusha. Shem etzupunaim shehem kashim oil. If shal elachitzonim liyanik misham. You understand? והציפונים עומדים על קצובס פיתוחי סיום האצבעות למגן ולמחסה מהחיצונים בקליפה. So it is magde again, call that it's a הגונה. שלא ינוקו יוצא מן הצורך להם. כי בהכרח משם מוקם יניקוסם. Because the ore is coming out, right? They want the ore. אלא הכוונה היא שלא ינוקו יוצא מצורך להם. לכן הבחינה זו היא הלבושים דאודם הראשון והיוסם בגן עדן הארץ ושומרו מהחיצון. That was left over the goof of Adam Rishon by his tziponaim in order to be a hagona from the clippers. V'yispashtis mehem, and then that was taken away from Adam Rishon, right? The ore. על ידי החטא, נשאר אור, אדם ראשון נשאר אור, ויורה ומתחבא, he hid, מהמזיקים והחיצון, because he didn't no longer have this klipa kedusha in order to save him. נמצא שציפורנים הם שרושי קליפס, אלא שהם זכים בתכלס הזיכוך. So let me explain to you what's going on here. He's calling it klippers, not calling it klippers. What's the work of it? You have to say there's many different types, levels of klippers. There's a klipper called a klipper mamish, and there's something called a klipper noga, and then there's something called kedusha. 3 different levels. So it's nicht here, nicht here. That means it's not a dover kodesh mamish, but it's not klipper mamish either, but it's a klipper noga. It's begeder klipper noga. It's a neutral thing. So it does various things. Let's go weiter. Wir nitzen schwamm so schei klippers. Zachen mit tachlos zikhuch, והם יונקוד ממוקם בקיאס הבוסה בסוף האצבעות, שערי משם צמיח את הציפורון. או משהו כנגד הבוסה הוא תכלס הזיכוך, אבל משהו עודף מהציפורניים יוצא לחוץ, כנגד הבוסה של אצבע, זה צריך לחתוך או יסם. ששם ניטלים החיצונים ויונקים בתכלס היניקים. So we're learning the sugya here of tzipponayim here. So the shnei dinim in these tzipponayim. One is like the actual tzipponayim is a good thing. We want to keep it there. It's a shmira. It's davar which is not ra, but it's not good either. But it's called the kedusha, dinim the kedusha. Mitzad achad, too much of a good thing is no good. So if the nails protrude further than the bossa, that is a negative thing. You have to cut them off. Now, why is that? Why is it? It's still the same cheps as kedusha, right? Why do you have to cut it off? So you have to say it's not because you want to cut it because of itself. Out itself, it's davar which is called klipa kedusha, but rather it's a hangout for the chitzonim. Vaisha says it gives a roof. I don't know what to be magnet, but it gives a roof for the chitzonim, and therefore the chitzonim gather there and gives them more of a chizah. It's marbe the chitzonim. Maskim?
Yeah, I would say a bit different.
Yeah, what do you say?
I would say that when you've got the, can I get a draw on it? when you got
You can tell me about it as well.
Yeah, but it's not very good to see. Yeah, when you got the part of the nail which is on the basar,
yeah.
Since the Ma'aseh Dechisim can't touch the basar, it's too kodesh for them.
Yeah.
So there is no reason to be afraid.
What's mitayah that mokum and not the other mokum?
No, so memela, since the nail is on this chelek habasar, so it's magen u'michset to the chelek habasar.
Yeah.
But the nail which is already protruding.
Yeah, protruding. Yeah.
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 He is not protecting himself because he's not connected with the basar.
So Zion, but it's still a chefsa shekadusha.
Yeah, but not enough for the chitzonim to be afraid of. Because that's not the basar as
again, he's not saying that they're yearning from the tziporaim.
No, it's not. It's
right. From the kedusha we're coming out.
Yeah.
So what do you have to cut the nails for?
No, but the kedusha, the or is not going out in between. The kedusha is a shefa from the tziporaim. So
from the tziporaim, no. It says cloth. It's between ben the tziporaim and the basar.
Yeah. No.
Right. It's actually coming from the basar, not from the tziporaim at all. It's just a roof. It's a hagana. That's it.
But can the clippers be yonek from the oil? Let's say like this. The oil is going out, and the chitzon is here.
No, they want to get it from the Mokum Yitzir.
They have to touch the Mokum Yitzir to get the oil. If they are not connected, they won't get any oil.
I don't know. I don't know. After next time I see
what
one, I'll ask him. But how do you explain about the tziporaim ha'oide for the basar? So again, what's the in of them?
They're not enough kodesh. Like you said, much like you said, the tziporaim is sheresh klippers and is connected to the basar. The basar is very kodesh.
Yeah.
So the tziporaim is megin because it's very kashe.
Yeah.
And since it's very kashe, it's megin that the chitzin can't reach the basar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the chitzin can reach the tziporaim. No. Why? Because tziporaim is key.
So they reach the tzipor. So what? They reach the tzipor. So what? So what did you give them? They're not interested in the tzipor.
No, the oil.
Right.
They need to touch the tziporaim or the basar to get the oil. They can't get the oil.
All it's coming underneath. They don't have to touch the tzipor. It's underneath the tzipor.
But you can't. But the chitzonim has to be connected to the basar to get the oil.
It's not connected to the basar.
It's not
touching the basar.
Remote control. What? What?
They don't have to be. What do you mean touching? Where does halachas come from?
No, because if not, so what bichar would they touch the basar?
The fact that there's somoch, they sort of.
They don't want to touch the basar. They're afraid of it, and they don't need to touch the basar.
Yeah.
They can get the oil from afar.
Yeah. So what? So you say they're touching the nails.
They have to touch all the basar, all the nails, whatever, to be connected to the.
Yeah. So those are. So they're touching. Yeah.
So the basar, they don't want to touch it. Too kodesh.
Yeah. No.
And anyway, the basar is protected by the nail.
Yeah.
They will touch the nail? No, because the nail is batted to the basar. But the nail which is not batted to the basar, that's dangerous. Therefore, we need to cut it.
Why?
Because it's not batted to the basar.
Arizal, it's not about therefore.
Therefore, the Christian we will get there. We'll touch this.
And so what? Let them touch it. Let them touch him. What's the problem?
That's Zohar. That's connected to the Chitzonim. That's a place that will be connected to the Chitzonim.
That means you want to say that they're going to be tam with the nail.
Yeah. And only this part, which is not.
They're going to mixes the nail. They're not mixes the nail. Where do you find a tumula marshal? Only travels halfway.
No. Then it will travel even to the basar.
So you have to cut the whole nail then.
No, once you cut, finish it, because they can't. When they're connected.
But you're saying the clippers are going to touch the nail.
And the nail through the nail, they're connected to all the whole nail beds.
So I want to know why you're going to cut it. Because what?
By cutting this, there's no place anymore for the chitzonim to touch. Because they can't touch this part of the nail anymore, because it's better to the basar, and they don't touch the basar because it's too high for them. Okay, maybe it's not okay. Try.
Alright, I hear. Again, there's nothing foolish in this. I just am more of a poshta pshat that gives them a mokum to be. Okay, well, it's oidif. And therefore, once they come in contact with the nail, they sort of making the nail tummy. Making the tummy, that's why you have to do everything you can in order to koitzes them, in order not to come into that situation. But that's the ending of it. Let's continue. Okay, so you know what? Maybe I think we're going to we'll stop here because it's getting late already. All right, see you.